Blessings, everyone. Happy Father's Day to everyone, men and women alike, all the fathers and brothers and uncles and grandfathers and mothers who are fathers and sisters who are brothers, and all of those who are sending out this powerful, powerful energy of fathers, of masculine energy and direction and discipline and all of that. So happy Father's Day to everybody. My name is Reverend Denise Schubert. I'm your host tonight for Sunday Night Alive, where we come together every week to explore spiritual topics, metaphysical dialogue, and to see how we might enhance and expand our life experience. So I'm very, very happy to be here with you tonight. Very excited about tonight's topic, which is really about making it up. It's really about how we have the awesome invitation, opportunity, and possibility of creating out of nothing everything. Now, this is not it's not a conversation that's oh yeah, of course. It's way deeper than yeah, of course, because most of us don't actually live as if this were the spiritual or human truth for us. So I'm excited and anxious to explore this with you tonight. If you're here with me, please say hello. Hi, Terry. I'm always happy to see people here with me. So I'm just not talking. I'm here in my home in North Fort Myers, streaming to you live. And it's always my joy to connect with my existing community and any new people who are joining. So if you're here for the first time, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I will ask nothing embarrassing of you. So it's been a very, very inspired, uplifting, soul awakening, community anchoring week for me. It's been a really, really wonderful week, and I'm so happy and excited to share it. Casey, hi, and Suki. Casey, so good to see you both. Haven't seen you for a while. So let me pray us in, which is not anything too weird. If you're joining me for the first time, to pray us in simply means to take a moment to declare this time that we are together as special, as sacred. To pray us in is to invite us all out of the world and all of its people, places, and circumstances and conditions, and to wrap ourselves in a cocoon of we make a difference. That's what we do. And so we pause in this moment. I pause in this moment to turn within for myself, to invite the wisdom, the intelligence, the infinite something that is in back of everything to be here with us tonight, to operate through me tonight, to be in you tonight, to simply, in some ways, uplift us and expand us. And I know that I'm taking the time and you're taking the time. So there are no accidents. We are here on purpose together to explore whatever there is to explore together for us tonight. And so welcome to Sunday Night Alive. Welcome, Holy Spirit, whole spirit of the universe into our experience. And I trust that each one of us will garner something great, grand, or glorious to take away. Yes, so. And so it is. And so here we are. Hi, sis. All right. So, if you are on my mailing list, you already know that I published a blog this morning talking about my inspiration to actually write a book of my story. Not because my story is so great in and of itself, but because it is a demonstration of the truth that sets us free, which is with our minds, our attitudes, our beliefs, our commitments, our visions, that we have the capacity to create something wonderful. So I want to tell those stories. So if you're on my blog, you already know that I've done that. And you already also know, though not all of you know, that my inspiration came to my inspiration to actually take the big leap into telling this story is came from a very unsuspecting place, which I want to highlight here is how God works, really, how the universe works, is that you cannot predict it, you cannot explain it. All you can do is open. All you can do is make it welcomed. And so, how it got welcomed to me is through a person saying to me, "Have you seen the movie The Girl Who Loves Giraffes?" That's all that was said. And I was like, "No, I've never heard of that movie. I've never heard of it." So I decided that I would go research and see if I can find this movie. Because the person also said it was hard to find. That was not easy. It was not everywhere. It was not like on YouTube or Netflix. And I want to share this with you because the story is so inspiring to me. And let me show you, I'm going to show you a picture of her. So this is the book. So the movie was called The Girl Who Loves Giraffes. And this is Anne Dagg. She was born in 1933, which is about the same time as my mother was born. And at 3 years old, you can see, I think this picture was actually made for the documentary, but you can see this picture where she met her first giraffe. And she's this little tiny thing. And there's this great big, tall, really weird looking animal um, gazing down at her at 3 years old. And for her entire life, she garnered and embraced this love of giraffe. And at the age of 23, which is the lower right-hand corner, she uh, she took off for South Africa and went to a place called Fiordalize, which is very close, by the way, to where I stay in South Africa, in order to study for 1 year the habits, the behaviors, the social structure of this thing that she loved from the moment that she was 3. And in the upper right hand corner, you can see her she's in this picture, she is 86, and she is posing for the documentary that this young woman made of her life. So we're looking at this woman who was born in 1933, and she just died this past April of this year at 91. So, um, so I I love now. By the way, Anne, she it was not like it was simple for her because she tried to get people to let her come to South Africa, and she couldn't do it. She had very little success because she was a woman. So everyone said, "You're a woman. You cannot come to South Africa by yourself. You can't are you crazy?" And then she reached out to this farm owner in Fiordalize, which is in North South Africa. And at first he said no. He thought she was a man. And then when she said she was a woman, he said, "No, you cannot come. I only have men here and it would be inappropriate." And I don't know what she said, but finally he agreed to let her come. And so she did, and they became best of friends. And she spent this entire year, 10 hours a day, studying, looking at, gazing at, taking pictures of, and documenting giraffe behavior. Now, listen, people, I love this kind of passion. I love this kind of commitment. I love whatever pushed this woman to do what she did. Now, and by the way, she was not a spiritual person. She came back from Africa and got married, had some children, tried to get tenure for her work, and nobody took her seriously. No, she was denied tenure. Now, mind you, we're talking about a 23-year-old woman in 19, let's see, 33, 43, 50, in 1954. So a couple years after I was born. So, and I was also born in 1951 at a time when the options for women were fewer and different. The rules and regulations were different than they are today. But finally, this man, the man who owned the farm at Fleur de Lis, said, "Yes, you may come." And then she was denied tenure, and then she just dropped into the background. She disappeared. Now, a woman with that kind of passion and love for something on this earth does not just disappear. So she became a kind of activist for women's rights, and especially in academia. I'm going to read you a little something I found here. It says, Anne Dagg, zoologist, feminist, activist, author, born in 1933. She was a Canadian, died April 2024, known as a giraffe expert. In 1956, she became the first Western researcher, man or woman, to study an animal in the wild. She was pre Jane Goodall and pre Dion Fossey, who studied chimpanzees and gorillas, respectively. So she was a pioneer. She was this, fortunately, she had this wonderful mother who, I think there was a quote in the film, the documentary, which I encourage you to see, in which she said, uh, but mommy, I'm not a woman, I'm a person. And she said, thank God my mother saw me as a person and not as a girl, or else she would have never been able to actually pursue her vision. So she disappeared. I just want to give you this quick background on her. She disappeared. She disappeared for 50 years, 5 decades. She disappeared. 5 decades. She raised her children, was heartbroken over nobody cared about her giraffes, brokenhearted that she didn't get tenure. So at some moment, this woman, I don't know her name, watch the documentary so you get the full details. This woman said, because wrote, Anne wrote a book that became the Bible of zookeepers for the care of giraffes. Her book was the book on the bookshelf on giraffes, and nobody knew who she was. And this woman said, they were having a conference of zoologists. She goes, I want to find Anne. I want to find Anne Dagg and see if she can come be a speaker at our conference. So she did hunt her down when um, she was 85 years old. Now, Anne was so blown away that anyone even cared. It's like her whole life made sense in that moment, right? The 23-year-old, the 3-year-old, the 23-year-old, and the 85-year-old made sense. And they honored her, they listened to her, they celebrated her. And I'm sure when she died this year, that she was a wholly satisfied and contented human being, really. So hearing her story, um, hearing her story uh, inspired me that maybe I should write my story. Maybe I should share uh, what has happened really for me in my lifetime, because it's been miraculous. I mean, 14 trips to Africa. Um, it's just, my life has been amazing. And um, it's amazing for me. It feels like it might be boring for you, but maybe not, because Anne's story was not boring for me. Right. And so she does not even know that in her death, I'm inspired by her. Do you understand? It is so special. And it speaks to me more about you than about me. I mean, that each of our lives has meaning and value and purpose and loves and desires and passions. And so tonight's topic is really, we get to make it up. I want to confer upon you healing crystals. Who is this healing crystals person? So, yeah, so pay attention, healing crystals person. um, so, I want to share with you that it's so common And it was for me, and it probably is for many of you, to feel as if and to believe as if our life needs to fit into the lane of life. Like whatever's going on in society, whatever's going on in our culture, whatever's going on in in the world, like society dictates. I think it was Emerson said that society is out to silence all of its members to get them in line with what is normal. But the fact is that there is no normal, that you are imbued with, and you are gifted with the capacity to make things up and then to stand for the things you make up and watch and enjoy them and be inspired by them and move in the direction of your dreams. And the universe will come to back you up. It will. It will, if you can stand in that space of creativity and passion, that things will begin to work themselves out on your behalf. So, if in some way you're feeling limited, or in some way you're feeling confined, or in some way you're feeling thwarted, or in some way you're feeling meaningless or unimportant or of no value, I invite you tonight to let that go, to simply, listen, you have this little girl, 3-year-old girl who's at a zoo in Chicago, who's looking up at this huge, gawky looking prehistoric animal, and she falls in love. The name of the documentary was The Girl Who Loves Giraffe. And at 23, she forges her way when there is no way to study this thing that she fell in love with 23 years prior, not expecting really anything from that exploration other than the love of the exploration. So, what is it that you love? What is it that you've loved since you were little? What is it that you love now that mm, that is kind of maybe pulling at you, demanding your attention, wanting your wantation, and then so all of this happened to Anne Dagg a little, and what I would say is a little by accident. She's a little girl, she grows up, her mother supports her, she goes to Africa, she studies giraffes for 1 year in a place where women never went. No woman went to Africa by herself in 1953. So it's such a beautiful story. The same with Jane Goodall, really, and all the early explorers, men and women. um, and then to put it all to bed for 5 decades. And you can imagine, I mean, I can only imagine if somebody said to me, you can never go to South Africa again, or Africa, period. You can never go to Africa again. You can never tap into that love or that passion again. I would be heartbroken. I would be, I would be so, I don't know what the right word is. I would be inconsolable. Everything after that would be a booby prize. Does it mean this life's not great? No, this life is great. I love my life. But my but this woman gave up for 50 years the thing that she so bravely and so courageously did. And then to have somebody come back to her and say, "Oh, we've been looking for you for years. We want you to come. We want to come celebrate you. We want you to speak at our conference. We want to do a documentary about your life." She must have been over the moon crazy. She must have been over the moon crazy happy. So this tonight's topic is really your life matters in mysterious ways that you may not even know. That you may not even know that in this moment or the moment before this moment, that what you said or what you did to someone or for someone has had an enormous impact on the quality of their existence. and it may still come back to exalt you. You just don't know. But what I do want to say is that I think Anne's example of the girl who loves giraffes is very interesting. They changed this to the recently to the girl who loved giraffes, but I think it's because she died. So now she can't love them because she's dead. But it originally was called the girl who loves giraffe. So I want you to know that I'm conferring upon you tonight a degree in making stuff up. You get to love what you love. You get to do what you want to do. You get to explore all the things that excite you and enthrall you and uplift you. You get to revel in all of the pains and joys of this life, whatever it is. And you get to trust that the universe, something beyond your conscious awareness, has you, has kind of caught your back. So sometimes it happens by accident, but sometimes it happens by intention. I would say for me, I've been very vocal, right, about what happened to me the first time I went to Africa, what happened to me in my spiritual awakening. I've been very willing to share it and to invite your support and your interest in sharing it with me. That's happened for all people. So don't think you have to be this bodacious, outrageous, outspoken person. You can be a little wallflower like Anne was, a wallflower, a wallflower. And yet the universe still pays attention to this kind of passion and commitment. So whatever it is you love, I say you just keep loving it and love it more. Whatever it is you want to do, I say you do it regardless of what others think you should do or can do, regardless of the rules and regulations, regardless of the rules and regulations in our society. Because this is a very precious and unique incarnation for you and for me and for all of us. And we are here at such an interesting time in human history that we cannot really afford to hide our light under a bushel. We need to shine and we need to speak and we need to share. Now, I know that's not the style of some of you, but nonetheless, you don't have to like look for the limelight. You can just pursue what you love without shame and without fear and without trying to hide it, right? So, so anyway, so that's where I'm at. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited this week. There's been a lot of creativity happening in and around me. There's been a lot of passion and exuberance happening through me. I can feel it. It actually kind of makes my body come alive and tingle. So if you guys want to, those of you who are not, those of you who are not, who do not get my written blog, I have announced that I'm going to write this book, and I'm going to call it My Possible Life Before and Beyond Africa. And I have written a blog about it, and I want to share it with you because if you don't already get it, you can go get it just by clicking. I think you can click on this link or go find it on my website. Uh, if you if you let me know you're alive out there for as little as a little bit of support, I'm going to send you some prints from my favorite photographs that I've taken in Africa. And if you're a little more committed than that, then I'm going to send you the chapters of the book, 14 chapters. So it's called 14 Chapters. So just go to deniseschubert.com and it's going to be on the very front page where you can participate and read the blog. I'm still very much engaged in this conversation, a good death dialogue. So the registration for this is now open. It's going to be on August 10th uh, from, let me turn this off. on Zoom. It's going to be on August 10th from 10 to 3. Is on Zoom. So we're going to be face to face having conversations. And it's really going to be about how to be with, approach, prepare, and make the best of living, aging, and dying. As you all know, I am 73 years young. I am very, very interested in having my last decade or two be the best ever. So I'm not going to buy into society saying you get tired, you get weak, you get uninteresting, you get out of the mainline conversation of living. That is not true at all. So join me if you want to engage in this dialogue. And you can go right to my website and sign up. It's on August 10th. Um, the promo for the book is DeniseSchubert.com/14 chapters, A Possible Life Before and Beyond Africa. I know it sounds very much as if I am looking for something from you. I really am not. I really am just wanting to talk. I really am just wanting to share. Where I have to get you back here. There you go. Really wanting to invite everyone into a greater experience of living, a greater experience of expression, a greater experience of satisfaction, a greater experience of uh, mm, bodacious. And I was inspired by Anne Dagg, this woman, Canadian woman, born, saw a giraffe, fell in love with a giraffe. Her whole life was about giraffes. Nobody recognized that or appreciated that until she was 85 years old. And then she got celebrated and then she died. But as we all know, died doesn't mean she's disappeared. Died means that she's moved on and is now on her upward spiral of becoming. And how exciting is that, right? How exciting is that? So anyway, so that's my Sunday Night Alive for tonight, which really has to do with uh, making stuff up. I confer upon you an advanced degree in making stuff up. Don't hesitate to do it. So go to my website if you want to see more of the blogs, more of African animals, if you want to sign up for the A Good Death workshop, if you want to support the writing and publishing of this book, please go to my website. I always accept support. I mean, ministry is my work. So this is how I support myself. So I always support your love offerings and donations through PayPal, Zelle, or Venmo, and through my website. And if you are looking for a spiritual coach, a life coach to support your path of becoming, please do not hesitate to contact me. It's all negotiable. Do not let any idea that we have, just contact me. If you want to talk, contact me. I am here for you. So that is it for me tonight. I'm going to speak a blessing to move us on our way. And hopefully I encourage you to go, you can rent this movie on Prime. If you're a Prime, you can rent it for, I think it's $3.99. It's called The Girl Who Loves Giraffe. And it was so inspiring. I think you will really love it. And it might actually spark something in you that moves you forward in amazing and wonderful ways. So that's a wrap for Sunday Night Alive. Let's take a moment and I will speak a word of blessing upon us all. So take a breath and simply allow yourself in this moment to release any sense of worry, doubt, or fear, any sense of any circumstances in your life that are causing you conflict or sadness. Release any sense of meaninglessness or I don't know what the right word is, um, of the purpose, or questioning the purpose of life, as we pause for a moment to recognize that this universe we live in is so intelligent, so beautiful, so full of synchronicity, so full of love and support, so full of this universe is one big yes to you. One big yes, responding to the desires of your heart, the longings of your soul, and all we need to do is say yes back. The universe says yes, waiting for us to say yes. As long as we say no, the good can't come in. So open your heart, open your mind, leave this time tonight expecting miracles in your life, expecting miraculous manifestations, expecting unexpected support from every avenue coming at you in every direction. I am telling you, it's there. I know it. You can know it too. Say yes to it. And so, for all the blessings of tonight, known and unknown in this moment, we give thanks. We let this time be whole, perfect, and complete together. And we say this, we affirm this by saying, and so it is. Amen. All right, my beloveds, peace and blessings. Thank you so much for being with me tonight or for listening at a later date. I am Reverend Denise Schubert. I am the founder and director of A Life of Spiritual Power, the author of a book, My Possible Life, Before and Beyond Africa, and a lover of all things beautiful and possible. And so I will see you next Sunday at 6 p.m. with a new topic. Lord only knows what that will be. We shall see. Hope to see you sometime during the week. If not, I will see you next Sunday. Peace and blessings.